Hello, welcome to the daily political tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I am here 365 days of the year to take your political questions out of the chat. So just leave your questions in the chat before I go on. 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That is an ongoing thing. We have an excellent community because of you. Thank you. And if you're watching this on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed out, and I timestamp them as I go. So on all of the time, all the 3 full years of daily live streams, that in itself is over 1,000 episodes. Yeah. 365 times 3. Yeah. Wow. At the end of, yeah, they're all timestamped. So if you go to the search, if you go to the main page of if you click on the name of the channel, you go to the channel page, there's a search bar just for the channel, and you can search for stuff there. It's very easy because everything's timestamped. Matter of fact, at the end of, currently, I think it's January 29th, something like that, is going to be the 1,500th video on the channel. Yeah, 1,500 videos. I told you can't get rid of me. All right. So, okay. Oh, what's going on with poor Miss Lena? Thank you, Janice. Hoo-hoo, says Sherry H. Tammy says, love the purple. Oh, good. Thank you. Is Miss Lena okay? Lena Rodriguez, she's great. She is great. All right. We have things to read on. Oh, and the nails, these weren't a gift. You guys have been so kind in sending me gifts. Thank you for those who, I haven't worn your nails yet, so I haven't thanked you yet. But thank you. Lena was on the Mary Trump show? Oh, wow. That's awesome. Very cool. A Mary Trump show featured a clip of Lena. Oh, wow. I hope she said nice things because Lena's awesome. But anyway, these aren't a gift, but I love these nails. So, little Art Deco. Little modernism on the overlay, little Art Deco on the nails. Lena has her cards out. Great. Mrs. Katura says, I love purple, my favorite color. Oh, congratulations to Lena. She's a good one. She's a good person. She doesn't come on here because of the timing. If I do any evening shows, I will absolutely invite her so she could come first thing in the morning. But she's in Australia and I'm in Chicago, and I do my show is almost always at noon, or it's certainly around noon. So the timing just doesn't work out. But oh yeah, she calls Trump a Yeti all the time. And it's actually pretty gross what it actually refers to, because it refers to something that Stormy Daniels said about Trump. Anyway, I don't blame her. Okay. Stephanie says, so I see lots of people just finished watching the Mary Trump show today. Cool. Oh, Cheryl Clark says, driving through Mississippi, 56 degrees Fahrenheit and sunny. We will be in New Orleans by 4 p.m. That's good. I forgot my cup. Shoot. All right. But Kathy Owenson, pass the brain bleach. I know. Okay. All right. We're going to start at 5 minutes in with today's first question. And, it's kind of a brain melter. I mean, we've walked around the edges of this idea in the past, but oh dear. Okay, so I'll be okay, B. Smith. I'll get it in just a minute. Let me make sure I've got, okay. So actually it's 5:30. At 5:30. All right, here we go. Okay, now keep in mind, number one, most important thing. The whole insurrection, they lost. Trump lost. Joe Biden is president. So whatever happened or whatever came close to happening didn't happen. All right, so keep that in mind. Thank you, Uncle Joe. Thank you, President Biden. We're good. We're going to be okay. All right, so is that anchoring us down so that we're stable? It's been revealed that one of the main reasons the Pentagon was slow in getting troops on the ground on January 6th was fear that Trump, as commander-in-chief, would order said troops to do something illegal. It would have been hard to control the forces of the military, who do include Trump supporters, to stand down and ignore said orders. Could something very different and more dastardly have occurred if the Pentagon had sent troops in immediately? Oh, thank you, Kimberly. Okay. Were they dragging their feet? Because people were worried about the commander-in-chief at the time possibly ordering troops to revolt, go against the Constitution. It feels like a very big, yeah, that was definitely one of the worries. Definite. There were some people, they were like, High Priestess. There's a lot that happened that day that has to stay hidden, has to stay secret, so that going forward, the Capitol and safety of various politicians remains paramount. Yeah, this is kind of, yeah, Kathy Odinson says that's terrifying. Magician. 9 of Pentacles, Death card right in the middle. Ace of Pentacles. 7 of Wands. You know, one of the things that happened with, say, 9/11, bless everyone involved in 9/11, bless you, the families. 9/11 and some other things that have happened, they happened because of a lack of imagination on our parts. This feels like when Trump was president, because this happened at the end of his term, it feels like there were plans created in the Pentagon for what happens if. And there were already plans in place for what happens if a big group of Americans attacks the Capitol. The military, they have plans and plans and plans and plans and plans. So when this came up, they had to dig a little bit, but somebody was able to get their hands on, okay, this is the crisis. This is how it was planned out. What do we do? How do we do it? And one of those things would have been stop a rebellious president from using the military to take over the government. That's one of it. And I understand Patricia, woulda, coulda, shoulda, not wanting to spend time wondering what might have been. There's too much stuff that happened to absorb, and my brain needs a space. I understand that, but if we don't do the postmortems, if we don't think things through, we cannot learn from the past. We cannot, because history does not repeat itself, but it does rhyme, as the quote, the famous quote goes. Things will come up eventually, and we need to think through these things of possibilities and what to keep an eye on. And so anyway, there was a plan, and the plan is what you do. And there are people in the Pentagon who are in the military, in the Pentagon, in whatever, Homeland Security, whatever, but is specifically in the military. But their job is to hold everybody suspect and come up with plans from everybody. And there really was so you really do have the trade-off. And it feels like there was already a discussion, in a hypothetical discussion, when making plans of, all right, what's more important? Making sure the president doesn't get control of a military force, or the possibility that a mob attacking the Capitol would be holding politicians hostage, or might just, shuffle off their mortal coil. Let's put it that way. Trying to find a nice way to put that. What are the levels of threat, and what's the priority? So, yeah, this is not this. While they didn't, nobody really was like, oh yeah, this is definitely going to happen. There was a lot more going on behind the scenes. And there are a lot of plans in place even now. So, yeah. Anyway. Glennis says a lack of imagination allowed Trumps to get into power. A deep dive into how is very important to stave off surprise repeat attempts. Next time it could be worse. MTG says so. Well, that's true. Lisa says we have to get this right. Our generation is tasked with repairing the holes in our democracy. If not now, when will this get done? After a successful coup attempt? Apple says ridiculousness. I hope you don't mean me. Darren says, I was more worried about 45 launching a nuclear weapon. I was very, very active in the 80s with the nuclear weapons freeze campaign. Well, luckily we didn't have to deal with that, but I'm sure there's a plan. All right, well, it didn't happen. But yeah, yeah. I don't think that's just a idle that idea that the military dragged their feet because of that. I don't think that's entirely conjecture. So, all right, 15 minutes in. Oh, this moron! I'll be so glad when he's arrested. 15 minutes in. Trump apparently spent his evening blathering about how he did nothing wrong. Noise, noise, that means nothing, because yes, you did do things wrong. But even if he did do anything wrong, he has, quote, total immunity. You wish. You walking embodiment of all 7 deadly sins. You wish. Does he actually believe the words that fall out of his mouth? Well, the thing to keep in mind is that he and his father were really big into Norman Vincent Peale and power of positive thinking. And Norman Vincent Peale officiated one of his weddings, I think, one of Trump's weddings. Ugh. So, and you know, there was a time in the past where if you were, I mean, I know in my family, you know, my parents were, you know, doing what they could to raise us to be strong women. And I can see how that taken too far could very much become you don't complain, you only say the positive, you only, and Fred Trump was not a nice man. He was not, and he was not going to raise he wasn't going to raise anyone soft. Which is one of the main reasons that Donald Trump's brother, Mary Trump's father, wanted out and really kind of imploded. So does Donald Trump believe the stuff coming out of his mouth? Part of it's just automatic after decades of this. You speak, and you repeat positive, things positive to you, even if it's damaging to everybody else. Positive. And you just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. So he's got this ingrained, it isn't just a habit, it's a way of doing things. Suburban Housewife says Dumpy does the secret affirmation manifesting thing, but it's not a one size fits all practice. Yeah. Tigress, yes, he destroyed Mary Trump's father. Yeah. Hermit. Well, he's always the victim, and he's always I have to do it myself. He's a micromanager, remember? And the reason he's a micromanager is because he doesn't trust anybody else. Because there's nobody he wouldn't screw over. So, of course, he thinks other people will always try to screw him over. And if things don't go 100% the way he wants it, then he needs people to blame. Therefore, other people are even more against him and awful and negative to him. Six of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, 5 of Cups, Hanged Man, Ace of Pentacles. Does he believe what's coming out of his mouth? No. He's trying to rely on what he's always done because it served him well in the past. So he assumes it will serve him well now. But he doesn't trust anyone, and he doesn't trust himself, and he doesn't trust the universe, and he doesn't trust any of it because there's no one he would not screw over. But this worked before, so he'll just keep repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating. But does he believe it? No, because everybody gets screwed over. He's a miserable human being. Joanne says his ex-lawyer said everyone tapes one another, as there is no trust. I believe it. Kelly says, is he still yapping? The USA is not protecting us, itself, or our Constitution. I'm over it. We need action now. I'm with you on that one. Let me quick look. Deborah says Donald Trump knows he's lying. He's trying to convince others he's not lying. True. Yes, Polly Wanda, he is a sad pile of orange flab. Yeah. And I don't care what somebody weighs or, what their health is. That's their decision. It's just he himself is so vicious toward anyone, especially women who weren't a perfect 10. And he lives on blackened red meat and ketchup and fast food. And his insides look like the grease trap at a fast food restaurant. Get out, Anyway. Katie Harbuckle says positive thinking only works if you follow it with positive action. And you follow it with positive energy. And his energy is, talk about low energy, he's low vibration energy. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, so, all right, 22 minutes in. And then we go on to some other political stuff. Actually, it's more like 15, 22, 15. Nearly a dozen January 6 rioters are attempting to claim the popular Q myth of sovereign citizenship. Nice try. Nil point. The sovereign citizen, you're right. And basically say the law doesn't apply to them and the government is non-existent. It's working out for them about as well as you'd expect. Will Q, MAGA, and others ever admit they were wrong? I don't know about that question specifically. If they are going to prison, there might be a gosh, I was so wrong type thing because they've been caught and convicted and they might, oh, I'm so sorry, I was so wrong because they were caught and convicted. Sovereign citizenship, jeez. Yeah, it isn't new. I agree, Trillian Tarot. Mel Broussard, sovereign, monarchy, king of nothing. Lisa is saying that Trump's Christmas message was vicious. It was just stupid. It was vicious, but it was stupid. Ace of Cups, sovereign citizen, huh? Okay, get out of the country. This is the United States of America. You want to be sovereign? You can go somewhere else then. 2 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, 3 of Cups. They're not going to win. We're not going to lose our democracy. We're not going to become a fascist nation. Not going to happen. Nope. They on the right, they've destabilized the Republicans have destabilized their own party. This insult to injury as policy, as how they, now it isn't even, we don't like government, therefore we're not going to legislate. This is actively legislating on social issues to basically come down on the weak, to punch down. That's really what the Republicans do. They punch down. And anyone who isn't more powerful than them, meaning huge corporations, you're weak, you are a target. But they're not going to win. So, all right. 2530, Gregg Abbott. 2530. This blankety blank. Grim bleeper. Gregg Abbott had a busload of migrants dropped off on Christmas morning in D.C. in front of Vice President Harris's home with no winter gear, no warning to incoming agencies they were coming, just put out in below freezing temperatures. How much longer will this be allowed to happen? Well, I think it's going to be state by state, but I would hope it feels like he's like good. He's just vicious and vile. He is a vicious, vile, angry human being. And I do not. I wish he wasn't in a wheelchair. I really do. I do not wish that on anybody. And if I could save anybody from that, I absolutely would. But the amount of anger that is built up inside of him that he has not fully dealt with because of his limitations, the anger and viciousness and cruelty, cruel King Abbott of Texas. I mean, DeSantis is awful. Don't get me wrong. There's a slightly more political edge to his energy. Abbott, there's a cruelty and there is an anger, absolute viciousness to Abbott that DeSantis only aspires to. Does his best to be vicious and horrible. But man, Mel Broussard says he should be taken to the federal pen for human trafficking. Evelyn is saying Abbott should be charged with child endangerment. Mel Broussard says in the GOP, cruelty is not a side effect; it's the main feature. Yeah, Valerie, yes, the cruelty is the point. But this is special. There is a viciousness and an anger and a fury to this energy, to his energy. M. Kelby taking out his anger about his injury. It's what it feels like. Betty says his cruelty is beyond cruel. Yeah. Darren says he needs a lot of mental health services. Yes. Yeah. Stirring up the right. They're enabling his. There are too many Texans enabling his cruelty because they think it's right. Cruelty is never right. There's self-defense, but that's not cruelty. Someone breaks into your house and you protect yourself and something really bad happens to them, that's not cruelty. If you're taking people, desperate people, and you're punching down, that's really the key. If you're attacking the weak, you're taking things out on defenseless children, you are the lowest of the low. Knight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, Fool, Two of Wands. If the Democrats could pull something together in the next week and pass it in the next week, but they should have done something by now, before now, because all of this is all republicanism and far right republicanism, the far right actively acting. The Republicans, these border states get money to deal. They get extra money. They get federal money to deal with the immigration problem. So them trying to pawn this thing off onto other states that don't get federal money for dealing with that level of immigration. So what, you're going to pocket the money? Any immigrant is a burden to them. And this is the folly of America can be a white Christian nation if we just ban everybody who has darker skin. First of all, why would we want to be a white Christian nation? Why wouldn't we want to be a melting pot of good people? Because that means the brave have come here. Those who have sacrificed and worked hard and just been brave to take a new path. And those who, why wouldn't we want to be a melting pot of the best and the brave? That would why wouldn't that be better? And then this is just more far right discussion. So I'm not getting a lot of, I'm not getting pushback from Congress, that's for certain. I'm not getting some laws saying, I mean, maybe somebody will get the courts to step in on to some extent, but it's this is a mess. And he is vile. Betty says they pocket the money just like in prisons. Kelly says Kelly says anybody brown ticks them off. Polly Wanda says that blasphemes Christ. It does. Boebert says, what about white Jewish people or white Muslim people? Why can't it be? Yeah. What about people of every color and every faith, actually, who believe in the Constitution and democracy and equality and human rights? And why wouldn't we want that? Why wouldn't we want that? I don't get it. Anyway, all right. Dave says white people aren't necessarily the brightest. True. There's no one genetic group that is better than another. It just doesn't work. Anyway. Sigrun says whatever that religion is, it's not Christian. I agree. All right, so this energy is awful. And yeah. Suburban Housewife says Texas seemed to have privatized everything. It's a kleptocracy with oligarch wannabes. Nine of Cups. Strength. Six of Cups. Three of Wands. Right now we've got people on the right and people on the left, and they're not. They're most are pretty firmly on one side or the other, but actually, the image of these people in the cold having just been dumped on the other side of the country, it doesn't move the needle a huge way, but seeing it over and over and over, it starts to add up. It starts to hurt the Republicans, because eventually, and this is the heinous part, somebody's going to get hurt, and it could be a very, very young person who gets hurt. And I don't want that to happen. And I don't know why I'm getting so emotional about this. I've already had an emotional morning, so I'm just going to walk away from this energy. I had to reinstall Windows on my computer, which is hardly the end of the world. But yeah, my entire livelihood is through my computer. So, and then then reading on Abbott's energy, and then thinking about those poor kids. I'm going to go get a cup, and I'll be right back. And because it's cute, I'm going to do this. Not because I need to, because I'll only be gone for a couple of seconds, but okay, I am back. Oh, tea with kitties. Yes, I'll be okay. Some days you need a little something extra in that cup. Some days it is a shame I don't drink. But thank you, everybody. Oh, excuse me. I heard someone say the other day that they don't like readers who start getting all emotional or get really emotional all the time on their channels. And it's like, I've got a water sun and a water moon. I try not to, but it's just there. Let's go. It's like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood around here. Let's go to the land of Kitty. 1 second. Oh, it's the land of Kitty. It's the land of cuteness. Oh, you doing okay? Are you doing okay? You are the precious. You've got a big soft bed. Yes, he does. He has a big soft bed. All right. I don't think I can move you over there, but I might try. Just for fun. Thank you, everybody. You're very kind. Oh, you are the precious one. Mm-hmm. Why? Make sure I don't knock over my soda. Look at the kitty. What are you doing? He has a new bed. I love that, Kate. My 2 kitties are in an after breakfast coma. Oh, Ruthie says, I knew Mr. Rogers. We love you just the way you are. You're one of the helpers we look to. Oh, that is high praise. When you knew Mr. Rogers, that must have been amazing. Hello, precious. All right. The next question. Oh, it's about the Texas power grid. Hi. Next question's about the Texas power grid. Yes, it is. How can you keep the kitties warm if you don't have power? Put that there. Put this here. Plug this back in. Yep, there we go. And there. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. Scary Harpy says, instead of the cards, we'll read the kitty fur. Yes. Oh my gosh, Stephanie says, I met Mr. Rogers in a Pittsburgh post office once. I was starstruck, and I was 25. Oh. It's bath time. Yes. Well, here's this new fuzzy bed, and then this is a fleece that he's lying on. And he would very much like me to go put him back, so I'm going to do that. And then we'll read on the power grid in Texas. Yes, we will. We'll read on the power grid in Texas. All right. Let me pick you up. Okay. You're okay. You're okay. Oh, the sweetie. Oh, he's a sweetie. He's a good boy. Yes. Give you a little pillow fort back. There you go. There you go. There we go. Right here. All right. Oh, I feel better now. Okay. So at 4330, let's look at the Texas power grid. 4330. Save. Texas power grid. Come on, Texans, really? I know I lived near Austin. I know there are plenty of Democrats in Texas. I know there are a lot of people who did not vote for Abbott. But the people who did. Really? Really? This is what you want? Cruelty? Lack of power? This is your idea of what government should be. For what? So you can, and with women with fewer rights? For what? Because you think it'll be good for the economy? It's not. Because you think what, people who are not white or people who aren't white males are getting too uppity? Or Why? What is the justification for this? Ace of Pentacles. Republican votes. Oh, and I know there's gerrymandering. I understand it, Betty. Six of Pentacles, Chariot, King of Cups, Queen of Cups, World. And then every time that Texas is a disaster area because of hurricanes or something terrible happens, federal government comes through. Federal government helps because that's what the government's supposed to do. I don't get it. I don't get it. How does cruelty benefit you? How does your weakened power grid help you? And until you stop shooting until these people stop shooting themselves in the foot and shooting everybody else in Texas in the foot, I don't have anything good happening. I don't have this cruelty and stupidity ending. Yeah. You know, Beto O'Rourke's there. He's worked very hard for the people, and he's been rejected twice now. And so, yeah, there's going to have to be something major is going to have to change down there. With the voting, with stopping gerrymandering, with getting out the vote efforts, something massive is going to have to change down there, because all I'm just getting is, yeah, something big's going to have to change. Knight of Cups. Hierophant. 5 of Cups. 9 of Swords. 4 of Swords. 5 of Swords. Government. Disappointment. All the good stuff you could have. Nope. So you've got worry. You've got lack of power. You've got insult to injury. I don't have anything good happening. Oh, thank you, Gerardo. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you, everybody, for your good energy, because, boy, I could use it today. But I don't have anything good happening to Texas. Not soon. Maybe I should look at the chart. My book that I just got on world charts, it doesn't have individual states. Oh, if only I had more hours in the day. I really want to do more of an astrology blog. But anyway, we'll get there. All right, at 48, 45. Oh, all right. After this, you're gonna have to like wipe the bottom of your shoes on things. Get this energy off of you. Stephen Miller. Arguably the most sexist and racist person in Trump's administration. And that's saying something. Is continuing on his crusade to help the poor, oppressed white male. Recently, he's taken to the courts to help? Oh. Recently, he's taken to the courts to keep Black farmers from getting additional aid. It's not fair to white farmers, he says. and is on a crusade to get as many cases in front of this ultra-conservative Supreme Court as possible. How much longer are we going to have to put up with him? Oh, he's not going anywhere. He's going to be around. Question is, how much longer is... How effective is he going to be? Patricia says, did you save all the horribles for today? No, I read on these rotten people fairly regularly. It's just some days are worse than others. That's what happens. No, Broussard said most farms are owned by corporations at this point. Rich white guys are the CEOs, of course. Oh, man. All right, Stephen Miller. And he's so nothing. He's so inside, he feels so insignificant. This bravado is all, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. I am important. I am... He feels so small and so insignificant. Hermit. And luckily, he is fairly isolated. Of course, we've got racist and sexist people in this country. But boy, he's in a class of his own, isn't he? Oh, I was saying okay, but you know him. Kathy Delisle, he's soulless just like Trump. Oh no, he has a soul. No, I know what you mean, but I'm gonna disagree with that for the simple fact that we all have souls. We all make choices, and all of our souls, they vibrate at there's a certain level of vibration. You can help others, you can try to do good, you can stand up for the weak, or you can be them. Oh, look, it's a death card. Page of Pentacles, not literal death. Page of Pentacles, insult to injury, absolute lies, and Knight. Oh, yeah, he's just. I really, really wish these guys. I really wish these people would take their insecurities to go talk to a therapist rather than trying to legislate based on their own insecurities. Actually, I want to call him scum, but we have been kind of pulling on the energy of Mr. Rogers, so it's like, all right, I won't call him scum. All of our souls are precious. He has made some really bad choices and continues to. That's his decision as an adult. Froxy Roxy says, who raised these people? Well, his family's not really impressed with what he's done. Ugh. All right. Okay, so what is next? Maggie, who had a question. Okay. 5445. Will Wisconsin have a chance of getting fair voting maps anytime in the near future? Okay. All right. I can work on this. Wisconsin. I lived in Wisconsin twice. For years. Wisconsin get fair voting maps. I've been to Madison, Wisconsin, and so I'm kind of like putting my energy toward that because the law is that's the capital of the state, and it's just like the energy's not great. Queen of Swords. Come on, lawmakers, you can do it. You don't want to, but you could do it. Good. Nine of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, Chariots, 5 of Wands, Queen of Cups. Okay, I like this. I'm liking in the middle, we've got the Chariot. The far right feeling beaten up, the dynasties, you know, before Evers came into the governorship in that kind of lame duck period with the former governor. The legislation did everything they could to strip the governorship of every power they possibly can until a judge stepped in and said, slow your roll. So they play dirty. But this big Chariot, this feels, there's some fresh air involved in this that sets the far right into a tizzy. And we end up with a Queen of Cups here. That's Democrats. So tell me more about this. Is this the 2024 election? Is this the courts stepping in? What is this? Eventually, Democrats will have a chance to actually win the seats they should. And yes, likes and subscriptions or follows or whatnot, they all really help. Thank you. You're watching Black and Orange Tarot and Astrology. Like and subscribe, please. So what's going on in Wisconsin? Apparently that's called a reset. I didn't know that. Oh, nice. Leona, I think I'm going to go knit for a while. Always puts me in a calm, great, appreciative mood. Hope everyone has a great day. I hope you have a great day, Leona. Ace of Cups. Yeah, there's a new start. It's not now, but I'm getting some good energy. Take it. But those on the right, they're going to try to destroy any possibility of Democrats getting power. But that King of Swords prosecution, it feels like law rather than it feels more like judicial rather than legislative. But let's see here. Working the 8 of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Sword of Truth, 10 of Cups. I don't have the Justice card, which would be absolutely judicial. And the Republicans have been gerrymandering and trying all different things, but I've got intervention here. I've got intervention of courts, prosecutors, something about laws that would make a difference, and the truth, Sword of Truth here, powerful Sword of Truth. And again, it leaves Democrats in a better position. So it's not just like dire forever. So I'll take it. Any improvement Any improvements are most welcome. Okay. Oh, you're gonna love this next question. At 1 hour 30. Russian state TV has been celebrating brave, quote, brave, Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz for undermining Ukraine. And they've praised Lil Tucker Carlson, for his commentary of Zelensky's speech. Will we get confirmation that these and others are acting in Russia's best interests officially? Is this just a own the libs, own the Dems, or is this, will we get confirmation that this is, oh no, they are directly benefiting? I don't get it. And Tucker Carlson is, I don't know, am I wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong in thinking that with Tucker Carlson, I almost get like a hint of like Tokyo Rose. Was it Tokyo Rose? Is that the right person, or am I thinking of somebody else? The person who, the woman who was trying to demoralize. I could be totally wrong on that whole thing, but it just, there's that feeling of Tucker Carlson. Luckily, a lot of people aren't listening to him, and Joe Biden's in the White House. And Democrats control the Senate. So I blow raspberries in your general direction, Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz and Tucker Carlson. Tokyo Rose, thank you, Patricia. Thank you. You're right. Devil, thief, Mar-a-Lagos, this is the far right base of power. Fool. 3-0, waiting for their payoff. We know that a lot of money went through the NRA. Entertainment only YouTube. This, the cards right here, entertainment only. They are saying, absolutely, these people are benefiting directly from Russia, except maybe Tucker. Menzi says Tokyo Rose did broadcast to undermine the Allies during World War II. Yeah, that's what I mean. There was a somebody in the chat. Betty was saying Tucker will do anything for money. Actually, I don't think so. I'm going to disagree with that only because he doesn't need the money. I think he does it because he's one of those people who believes that because they have money, therefore they know better than everybody else. And there should be authoritarianism because those who have money, those very few who have huge amounts of money, are obviously better than the little scummy commoners, and they should have all the power because the world would be better if Tucker Carlson had all the power, if his little tiny group of people had all the power. The world would be wonderful because he's better than you. He's awful. Yeah. These cards say look for another. Oh, it's been quite a morning. What was her name? NRA lady, Russian, went to prison, got out, went back to Russia. The honeypot. Can't remember her name. Yeah. Look for another one of her. Look for another NRA. Yep. Suvi says God gives money to those who can't get along by themselves. Maria Burisna? Mel, thank you. Maria Butina? Butina, yes, Amora Ross. Maria Butina. Thank you. Brenda Kingsley said he inherited it, not earned it. Yeah, I thought he actually married into it. Maria Butina. I don't believe for a minute there's not another Maria Butina floating around. And there is that the money going to the NRA isn't going somewhere else right now. I don't believe that for a second. The redhead, yes, Darren. I would do it. Yeah. Ick. Okay. Okay, Eileen had a question, and you guys are going to have to help me on this one. Will future members, and hopefully current members of the Supreme Court, be required to disclose their tax returns? They're not, I assume? At 107, I assume they're not, but I don't know that. Do members of the Supreme Court have to disclose their tax returns? I thought that they had to. I thought there were some financial disclosures they had to provide, but who knows? Gabriel says, I didn't see anything related to money in the last spread. Yeah, it was all the far right stuff. And the benefit of that, where you get an infiltrator like Maria Butina, or you get money coming under the table. It's influence. It's not. You don't have to have pentacles in a reading for money to be involved. So, Mel Broussard says those forms are not public, though. Mel Broussard says they fill out financial disclosure forms, but their forms are not public. Who sees them? Supreme Court be required to fully disclose their tax returns. Mel Broussard says Clarence Thomas forgot to disclose the $600,000 that went through Ginny's hands. Mm-hmm. Page of Swords, bully legislators who do not understand their place in history. The Supreme Court is what has the power and the only word I can think of is majesty, but that's not. I don't mean that in the sense of like your majesty, her majesty. I mean just a kind of glowing. That's the Supreme Court. Thomas, Alito, Roberts. In the grand scheme of things, you are not that important. You individually are not that important. And you're there to serve the law, not yourself. It's not all about you. Eight of Swords, Six of Swords, Nine of Swords, Nine of Wands, Three of Wands. This is some worry. You're going to have to communicate. It feels like some energy being pried out, some piece of information being like pried out from January 6th. Maybe it's Ginny Thomas. Could be any of these other things. Did I hear that I Like Beer, Kavanaugh was seen partying with Gaetz or something? There's some information that means they have to disclose something, but it's something key, but something small. I haven't been getting that we'll get the full disclosures out of the Supreme Court that we should. But Lady Eva says that was last week. He was at a party with far-right people. So, Polly Wanda, stench near the bench. And Kelly, I agree. I Like Beer is all kinds of dirty. Mm-hmm. If things continue the way they are, the Supreme Court it's on a downward spiral. The credibility, the willingness of people to listen to the law, they are eroding. It's like the edges of the court are just made of sand, and it's just starting to erode. And they're doing it to themselves because they're so important. Justice, Supreme Court justices, fruits of labor. Oh, look at me. Look how far I've come. Look how important I am. It does feel like Biden's going to get to put somebody on the Supreme Court, though, for what it's worth. But get over yourself. Get over yourself. Oh, the arrogance of these people. Man. Okay. All right, let me get at least one more question in. Let's do this one on Kevin McCarthy, because this will end up being important. One, not that the other questions aren't important, just I want to make sure I get this one. 113 and a bit. 113.15. Okay, in the past 48 hours, Kevin McCarthy has lost even more votes in his bid to be the speaker. Is it finally over for him? Oh, Kevin, Mr. Mediocre. Mr. Average. Mr. If you did not live in a patriarchy with some serious racist tendencies, you would not be where you are. And as far as I'm concerned, the minute he said that when Nancy Pelosi, I'm saying it again because I'm going to remind everybody of this, always. He said when Nancy Pelosi gives him the gavel, it's going to be hard for him not to hit her with it. That is what he said. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I said that emphatically, and I bumped the table, and it came out like I was punching something. I'm not. That's infuriating, and that's wrong, and that's not hearsay. He said that. That's not a, oh, did he? To gossip? No, it happened. That right there, you're done. You're done. No, get out. Get out. Out of Swords. Oh, and there are others who want to be speaker. They want him out. They do not like him. Ace of Swords. Moon. King of Wands. King of Swords. They don't like him. Especially on the right. They don't like McCarthy. Oh, wow, they don't. You don't have the votes. This is absolute chaos. The far right is relentless against him. This is the vote. This is the vote here. Let me see if I can get some more information. But who... The anger, the steam coming off the far right is scalding. Also makes me think of something else that steams, but I'll just leave that alone. It's far right. The far right is just brutal. They want a far right victory, not McCarthy. Ace of Pentacles. They are loud. Surprise. Ace of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles sitting pretty. Sitting pretty. Fruits of labor in the middle. There's the World card and insult to injury. See, I'm not getting a strong feeling that on somebody else, like there isn't somebody else that's jumping out at me. Like, oh, this person's definitely going to be speaker. But energetically, metaphorically, the far right is just bludgeoning McCarthy. And he thinks he's got it wrapped up. There will be a vote, but there's this, even if he gets in, there's such weakness. The far right, they are coming for him, and they are not going to give up. They are not going to give up. There's nowhere to hide. And whatever McCarthy thinks the Republican Party is now, it's not. Not in the House. So I'm not getting a yes or no on him specifically. What I'm getting is the far right just coming for him relentlessly. Even if he gets in, it's undermined. It's just bad. Plus the fact that I keep getting the Republicans won't be in power in the House for the whole time. $19 Stallion says feeling lots of changes in the House in the first month or two or three. Yeah. Mel says Kevin made too many promises to too many people. He'll be a weak speaker. Linda Kingsley says the next 4 months will be a clown show. Yes. Yeah. But it's pride before the fall, because that whole Marjorie Taylor Greene, Gaetz, Boebert, that whole heinous crowd, they think they are going in with just immense power and they're so important and they're going to make all these changes, and it's not going to work. Not going to work. Just wait. And Marjorie Trader Green especially, I've been getting the excitement, her excitement. She's going to come and she's going to do so much. She's going to put everybody in their place. Everybody's going to have to, it isn't even she wants everybody to bow to her. She just wants to hurt others. She just wants to see them humiliated. She wants to see the other side fail. You know, if it hurts the country, who cares? She wants to see that that her mode, mode of operating is cruelty. And it's cruelty, it's yelling in people's faces, it's bullying them, it's making them feel weak and small because she feels weak and small. There's not there, that's what bullies do. So, it's easy after a while to sometimes take her as kind of a force of nature because she is so relentless, but it's her own inner. She cheated on her husband left and right. There's talk now that she's may have a boyfriend, but that she's looking for love in all the wrong places. And her self-hatred, she and her husband made quite a bit of money because they invested in businesses even before she was in office, but it didn't fulfill her. Money's not her driving force. She wants to see others made low. That's sad. But anyway, I don't. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope that you have all success. And since we're coming up on the new year, I hope this is going to be your best year. I really do. I wish you all the joy and luck and blessings, and that every kindness you ever do is returned to you tenfold. So that's going to do it for me for today. It is 1:43 p.m. here in Chicago. At 2:30, so less than 2 hours from now, I'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel doing creative sprints. You're always welcome. I just want to encourage you, and it's not just writing, it's knitting, anything, newsletters, painting, anything. You're always welcome. Other than that, I will be right back here tomorrow because I'm here 365 days of the year. So please just remember, you are not alone. We are in this together, and there are good days ahead. There are. All right. So take care, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow.